Hey, everybody. Welcome back. I'm Gamero Says, and I'm going to be your donation reader for this run of Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights. Welcome back to ESA Summer 2021. We're raising money for Save the Children. Links to donate can be found below the stream. You can also type in !donate in the Twitch chat, and there you'll be able to see a link pop up, and you can donate to Save the Children. Please give generously. We'd also like to thank Twitch and ViewSonic for sponsoring this event. So Nestani, now if you'd like to take it away with the 100%, with the Night of 100 Frights, any percent, not 100%. And let's see what this category is exactly. I've been trying to figure out what it means. All monster tokens, no creepy early. Let's see it.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Nestani, and today we're going to be running Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights, AMT No Creepy Early, which just stands for all monster tokens. And so basically we're just going to try to get all the tokens in the game as fast as possible, and then we beat Mastermind at the end, and that's the general gist. And today on mic, I have with me two lovely commentators. I have TFX Immortal and Sam, if you would like to introduce yourselves real quick.
Hey, I'm Mortal. I'm a runner of this game as well. I have a top time in a few categories, including AMT, so I'm here to help out with commentary.
I'm Sam. I'm third place in AMT, so I like to think that I know what I'm on about.
Yeah, and we're actually just going to get right into it. So time's going to start as soon as I hit new game. So I'll do a countdown. So 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights is a 3D Metroidvania, meaning that there are a bunch of upgrades that we need to access new areas of the run in order to progress through certain areas. So with that being said, we're going to be collecting a couple upgrades throughout the game. We're going to be collecting 6 total, 4 of them, which would be main upgrades that we're going to use a whole lot throughout the run. And so what you're going to notice immediately is that we're actually going into this playground room. This is normally used to teach the runners, or not runners, but teach people how to play the game, dash, jump, etc. And but we're actually coming in here for snacks and for our first monster token of the run. So these are the monster tokens. It's going to make that little dink sound. And then basically the interesting part about the AMT snack route is that basically we have to pay snack gates throughout the game. And these snack gates are unavoidable, and we have to pay a certain amount. So the first one that we're going to run into right up here is actually a 25 snack gate, but they scale up as high as 450 and 500. And the interesting part about the AMT run is actually the first half of the run is really snack heavy, and we have to collect a lot of snacks, and we can't miss too many, otherwise we actually won't be able to progress. And but at the second half of the run, it's pretty free, and there's not much snacks that we have to get at all. So it's pretty cool dichotomy. I'm gonna miss chandelier jump, smile. This is gonna be a little finicky jump, but we're gonna hit a second try, no worries. And basically we're gonna get this key and we're gonna talk to Holly and get the map upgrade so we can warp places. And we're gonna jump off some invisible walls and make our way out, and we're gonna talk to the groundskeeper to get the key in order to get the shovel so we can get the key and access the next area. And fun fact, the groundskeeper is actually voiced by Don Knotts. So have that for you. And I don't know why Scooby needs a shovel to dig, but I don't know. Dogs can't dig without a shovel, I guess. Try to give your dog a shovel at home. See what happens.
Shout out to Don Knotts.
True.
You know how much
Sam,
the kids love that guy.
Yeah. Sam, if you want to go ahead and take over.
Yeah, so in this game, you have to be very aware of cycles. So every enemy and every platform is on a cycle, and you get to see an example of this with these rats that Nestani's just going to go past. So yeah, he got through the rat cycle there, but there's more complex cycles in the later levels. But this is just a taster of the type of platforming you'll be doing in the game.
In Shark 2, we have to watch an unskippable cutscene from Shaggy where he comes down and just tells us that we need to swing from his legs to jump on that crate. But we actually skip this by, after talking to him, going around and just jumping up by doing a jump without the run button. And that's how easy some of the skips are in this game, just like simple jumps or some invisible ledges. And then after doing this, we go through some hooks. And again, the hooks are all on a cycle like all the enemies, so Nestani's prepared for how the hooks are going to be aligned.
I'm just gonna play that one safe. I feel like getting clipped there. You know what I mean? All right, and
So,
up
yeah,
here,
we
we're
actually-
actually going to run into the tar for the first time in this run. And basically, all you need to know about this tar is that we cannot run, jump, dash, or anything. But I'm actually going to use this rope to actually jump up to get that snack box. But if I want to move here, all I can do is walk in the tar. And up here, we're going to try a trick called tar strats. I did not get it, smile. Basically, upon loading in this level, we can get a frame-perfect trick where we just jump off the tar and onto the little side collisions there just to get that snack box above me and get a couple extra snacks, which is a little cushiony. But if someone wants to introduce pause storage for everyone.
Yeah, so in this game, there's actually an intended way of warping, which is by using the warp gates. But we can actually activate a warp gate from our own pause menu by pressing quit game and disconnecting the controller at the same time. And by doing that, we can enter the map with a menu above it, which allows us to warp without a warp gate. It doesn't allow us to warp anywhere, but it just allows us to warp from anywhere. And that saves a lot of time from backtracking, especially in all the monster tokens.
Yeah, I like to call that trick quit storage because you can accidentally quit the game because you need to hover over the quit game menu. So it's an interesting trick.
Luckily, Nestani has saves just in case that happens, but it probably won't. Now, here's a trick called Hedge Gate Clip. And Hedge Gate Clip is basically lots of frame-perfect pauses done in quick succession to clip through this gate, which he just got. Good job.
Let's go, dude.
And basically, that gate is an intended shortcut from the last level of the hedge maze. So by clipping straight through it, we actually get to the helmet invention much quicker than intended. It takes us straight to the second invention right after we just got the springs.
Yeah, and that's our main routing throughout this game, actually. I forgot to mention that at the beginning, but basically right now, we're not running into a lot of monster tokens right now. We only ran into the one, but right now we're trying to gun down as many of these inventions as possible and collect them all, because we need all the ones that we're going to collect, which is Double Jump, Helmet, and Super Smash, and the Umbrella in order to get all the monster tokens of the game. So basically, once we get all of these inventions is when we're really going to start gunning down a lot of tokens and collecting a whole bunch. And here we're just going to close out this level. We're just going to get some much needed snacks here, and then we're going to actually warp to Fishy 1, where we're going to do a trick known as Galoshes Skip.
Yeah, so after grabbing the helmet, you're meant to go through all of the mana levels and make your way to the first boss of the game, which is the Black Knight, who gives you the galoshes, which lets you walk on the tar. But you can easily skip that by just jumping on a barrel and then jumping over an invisible wall, which was left too low by the developers. And that skips the entire Black Knight fight, and we don't need to fight him for the rest of the run, since that's the only time where you're required to use the galoshes.
Yeah, there's actually another spot where we do need the galoshes, but we're going to do another skip so we can also avoid the Black Knight. So we're basically avoiding the Black Knight twice in this run, actually. It's pretty funny, but we'll see that a bit later down in the run. And we are actually going to go to those levels later on to get tokens that are in the Manor. But we're just not going to be fighting the Black Knight, essentially.
Yeah, we go to the levels around the Black Knight, but we don't want to fight the Black Knight himself, because he's slow. So now Nestani's going to do an unintended jump here to get the Tar Monster token early. You're meant to come back to Fishy 1 later on with the Umbrella invention, but by just doing that jump off the conveyor belt with the momentum, you can just grab the Tar Monster token without having to come back. And again, backtracking does save a lot of time.
Yeah, and here in Fishy 2, again, like we mentioned before, we have to collect a lot of snacks, and essentially, in the beginning portion of this run, before we have to pay a 450 gate and a 500 gate in pretty quick succession here. So what we're going to try to do is that we're going to try to meet a snack quota here. And essentially, if we don't make the snack quota, we have to get backup snacks or slower snacks rather than the ones that are on our snack route, is what we like to call it. A lot of runners have different routes that they like to run in order to collect the what they feel like is the fastest snacks. Most runners run basically the same route, but essentially you want to try to hit as many snacks as possible on your intended snack route so that you don't lose time later on in the run. And basically we are on a very tight schedule here with our current snacks, because since we get to the helmet so early, we basically avoid a lot of snacks that we normally get in any percent, which makes the beginning portion of this run really, really tight in snacks. And I'll inform you a bit more on how our snack standing is doing at the end of the next level. But here we're just going to make a little fun cycle here where you can actually just hold right at the beginning of that and then jump over this middle area. And basically we just skip half the level because normally you have to go above and go on these platforms in the back here in order to get over here. But instead we just kind of skip that totally and make our way to Fishy Fort.
Yeah, so Nestani is just going to do more sorts of momentum conservation on these conveyor belts. So if you go in the direction that the conveyor belt's going, you're faster. But if you go in against them, you have to do frame perfect bumps.
And we're actually going to make our way to our whatever number token we're on now. Another token, which is the astronaut token, or whatever they're actually called. I like to call them the astronauts because it's funny. And we're going to try to make this jump. I did not make that jump. That's so sad. But we're just going to climb up these invisible walls here, get this token, and then we're going to get some snacks here. And our snack count is looking a bit sus, not going to lie. Luckily, we have the exact amount that we need where we can show off a trick known as Zero Cycle later on, which is very nice. Essentially, if I had literally one less snack, I would not be able to do a specific cycle because I would have to get extra snacks. And if we have any reads that we want to quickly plug, this would be a good time to do so.
It would be my pleasure, and I gotta say big ups to not making the pause/pause pun, because I'm sure you're tired of that one. Let's see, we've got $25 from Nem. Leave no comment, but they're saying a lot because they do want that $25 to go toward Resident Evil 3 Nemesis Any Percent for the classic costume choice. We've also got one from, looks like a buddy of yours, Snowy Moogle, $25, saying, hey, Nestani, huge congrats on getting into ESA. I'm really excited to see this crazy route at a marathon. Hopefully you don't get RNGG'd by Green Ghost. Thank you so much, Snowy Moogle and Nem, for your donations today.
Thank you, Snowy. And right here, we're going to actually attempt a little cutscene skip here, so we got it. Nice. Essentially, there's a cutscene trigger that you can hit there that basically just eats a bunch of time, and then we don't want to hit that, simply put. And here we're just going to go across the back half of this Coast 1 area because we need all of these snacks. But if Mortar wants to go ahead and start talking about Coast 2 and what we're going to do next in the next level, that would be
so
great.
After collecting these snacks here in Coast 1 and getting the keys from the fish here at the end, we're actually going to abuse Scooby's charge attack in Coast 2. You'll notice Nestani's been charging around to get around faster, but as well as getting around faster, the charge attack also has the property of making Scooby invincible to enemies. Basically, his hitbox shrinks to his helmet, and as long as Scooby's helmet is not touching an enemy, Scooby's body is basically invincible. So we can use that to actually charge straight through the enemies here and make a very tight cycle called Zero Cycle. And Zero Cycle is just where you grab all the snack boxes, barely without being crushed by the big crates, which are trying to fall on Scooby. Then Nestani got it, good job. And it was all about just charging past those ghost divers without getting hit or hitting them. And then he's actually going to jump up on top of these crates to grab the caveman token. And the caveman token, you're supposed to come back here with the super smash and hit a button to make the crates stop, but you can actually jump on them without stopping them. And sometimes the hitboxes there can get a bit messy and you can just fall through the crates sometimes with different momentum. But luckily it all worked out and you got the caveman token. Then here in Coast 3, he's going to grab even more snacks. We're almost at the 500 gate, which is the final snack gate of the run. Well, the proper snack gate. There's a few more snack gates after, but this is the last one where we actually have to worry about snacks. And you see that monster token at the back? We're actually going to get hit by the fish and walk across the water and become Scooby Jesus to grab this one token. And then we're going to jump across the back to grab all of these snacks on the boats. And you'll see Nestani will end with just about 500 exactly.
Exactly 500, actually.
Yeah, exactly 500. So perfect snacks.
Yep. they were a little scary at Fishy 4. Essentially, what we had to do at Fishy 4 is basically not miss a single snack, and we did just that. And so now, as we mentioned before, now that we've paid that snack gate, snacks are actually pretty free. So now you're actually going to see a complete shift in my gameplay, where I'm actually going to run past a lot of snacks because they're not directly in my way. And essentially, you're going to be like, and I just think it's a really cool dichotomy in the run where it's like, first half you're like really focused on snacks, and then the second half it's all about just like cutting corners as fast as possible and just like ignoring snacks when you can. And we're actually going to make our way to our third main invention, which is the Super Smash. Think of it like a ground pound from Mario, essentially. And oh, I'm so sad. Basically, I tried to go for a frame perfect button press there, which essentially, if you hit a button or an enemy in this game with your head, you can actually cancel the animation of you bonking and sitting on the ground if you release the button right as you hit it, which can save a bit of time, and pretty much all of those can add up over time. And here you're just going to see me, again, abusing Scooby's charge attack and just sliding around these enemies by aiming my head away. And it's just a thing that we're going to be using a lot throughout the run, but it's definitely egregiously shown here and in Coast 2.
This guy's going to attempt another pause storage. Luckily he got it and didn't quit the game. And now he's going to make his way to the plunges invention.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. I always forget about the plungers. Yeah.
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 We're going to get the plungers.
We're getting the plungers. I forget that they exist. I'm not going to lie to you.
You don't actually need the plunges to get to where we're going, but we're grabbing them for later on when we need them for a monster token.
Extra button press there on the Smash. I like that.
Yeah. Smash has a weird hitbox, and sometimes you can hit an enemy and a button at the same time, even though they're on different heights.
Yeah, and we
saves a second.
Yeah, we take those.
In Creepy 2, it's basically just grab 4 keys, and then we're supposed to save Shaggy, but we're going to skip Shaggy again, and we're just going to jump on an invisible ledge, which you'll see shortly, and we're going to grab the key which you're meant to throw Shaggy up to. And by grabbing that key, you can enter into Creepy 3, which is where the plunges is, without even throwing Shaggy. Saves a bit of time.
And we're also going to make a hook cycle here, where if you charge a specific way every single time, you're going to be able to get through all of these hooks without getting hit, just like that. It's a pretty neat cycle, and we're going to make our way, and we're going to do some backtracking. So basically, the way Hedge Gate Clip works is that if you do this run without doing Hedge Gate Clip, essentially you have to go through Hedge twice. And what Hedge Gate Clip does is basically makes it so you only have to go through Hedge one time instead. Because basically we would have to go through a whole lot of levels that we don't need to go through because we have to backtrack through Hedge, and we also have to go through the Skull Cliff levels if we wanted to get the helmet invention. But instead we just go straight there, and because we go straight there, we actually don't backtrack through Hedge at all, which makes it incredibly fast. And again, you're going to see me, again, I'm ignoring those floating snack boxes just because we simply don't need them. I'm just going to keep dashing through. And one thing that you're going to notice, one thing we haven't mentioned about Scooby's movement is that you're seeing me use this charge attack a lot. And the reasoning for that is because it essentially just speeds up Scooby's movement. But the interesting part about it is that at the beginning of the charge animation, you actually slow down. And at the end of it, you speed up exponentially. So what we're trying to do is only use this charge attack over long distances of, well, that's unfortunate, over long distances so that we get the max amount of speed, but we're actually not going to use it over shorter distances because if we used it over shorter distances, it'll actually slow us down rather than us just straight up walking. And if Mortar wants to go ahead and explain SCS and basically more about how Hedge Gate Clip just skips a lot of the levels.
Yeah, so if we weren't doing Hedge Gate Clip, we'd actually have to do Skull Cliff backwards to go to the helmet, but we can actually fully skip Skull Cliff in this route by going up to the gate after we grab this monster token and clipping through it. But first you'll see Nestani bounce on a scarecrow and then get over that gap, and you're supposed to have the galoshes from the Black Knight for this again. And we like to call this token the Sam token because of the one time where she ran straight through it and died.
I mean, that that was fake. That didn't happen. All right.
And that's
But-
SCS.
Yeah,
You
that's
can just
the
hold
gate.
up left. You can
Up left
just,
with the
yeah, you can just hold
Skip
up left on the
button.
D-pad and clip right through. You can actually do that one at home. It's actually a really easy trick. And again, we're gonna jump up here, get this token real quick, drop down and get some keys. So yeah, essentially the way SCS works is that you're actually not supposed to be here for a long time because normally you would have to go through the greenhouse levels first in order to get to the helmet. But because if you go through the Skull Cliff levels backwards, it actually saves time rather than going through the greenhouse levels. Because if you know the routing from there is that there's a really long auto scroller at Hedge 4, but essentially you just skip all of that. And so that saves about 2 minutes. And then we're also, since we're also skipping the Skull Cliff levels, we save even more time because we don't have to go through the Skull Cliff levels. So we're totally just cutting out all of Skull Cliff and all of the greenhouse hedge maze levels essentially by doing this route. And it saves a ton of time because there's no tokens there. And here we're to my favorite part of the run.
Best level.
This is Misbehaving 3. This is the longest auto scroll in the game. It's about 2 minutes. So if we have anything to read, you can pop off for a long time, honestly. You can just go for it. Go to town.
Let me get the old instrument ready. Okay, looks like we've got some donations here. We've got a $5 donation from Osmorn. Osmorn says, "Yo, congrats Nestani on being on the ESA stage and representing the Night of 100 Frights community. I've been rooting you guys on for a while now and will support all Frights runners every step of the way. Good luck and all the love in the world to Nestani from his friend Osmorn. Donation goes to Pokemon Diamond Chimchar, nickname being Kizaron."
Yeah, thanks, Oz. Appreciate it.
We've also got $5 from Harsh. Just says, PokeW Nestani.
Let's go. PokeW in the chat. Let's go.
Clout checks, everybody. Let's see. Just a reminder that those $5, not only do they do a lot of good, that can buy medicine, that can buy school supplies. Actually, that pays entirely for school supplies for one child so that they can continue their education thanks to our sponsor, Save the Children. Or thanks to the charity we're raising money for. I'm sorry, just Save the Children.
I love that.
Yeah, it can do a lot of good. And those $5 also, if you're donating, if you want to support a lot of our runners and want to give a little bit at a time, our prizes are also cumulative donations. So if you've given $5 for Nestani and you gave $5 for our Manix for the Mega Man run, that adds up to $10 and that gets you in the running for the Perler beads, and you can donate as many times as you want. All of it gets summed up and gets you in the running for one of our many prizes. So yeah, let's see some donations. We're getting real close to 15K. So let's see if we can't get it.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Also, chat, if everyone I don't know how many viewers there are, but if everyone donates $1, just think that's a lot of money, cumulatively. So even if you have $1 to spare, that could be used to further good. If we can get some $1 spams, that would be dope.
True.
Yeah, let's see some $1 spams. Like I said earlier, $1 can get some medicine. People think it doesn't make a difference, and then cumulatively, if we had it for every viewer, I think we've had a couple K viewers. We can do some major damage.
Exactly. And here, we actually just did a cycle known as Beat My Keys, named after one of the runners'
Community member Beat My Bro.
Yeah. Community member Beat My Bro. So we named it Beat My Keys. And this is just getting those keys on one cycle. And here, we're actually now making our way, we're pathing our way to Green Ghost right now. Because we need Green Ghost to get the Umbrella upgrade, which is the final upgrade that we need in this run in order to get the rest of the tokens. Speaking of tokens, there's one right there. And we're actually going to grab 3 quick tokens right before Green Ghost. And then from there, it's all tokens. And that's all we're going to be looking for the rest of the run.
So you may have noticed that Nestani didn't watch that cutscene in that level. He just ran into the pit and the cutscene just didn't start up when he respawned. And that's a very good trick. In fact, he's going to do it again here in this level.
Yeah. The last cutscene is like 10-15 seconds. This one's about 8 seconds. So here we're saving just a ton of time by just death abusing. And because essentially when you die in a level, it'll spawn you at the beginning or like the set beginning of of the level. So essentially by just dying at the intended entrance, we just save a bunch of time because we spawn exactly where we ran off and died from. And then by just using that death abuse like that, we just save a lot of time from cutscenes. And here we're just going to get another token, the ghost token. And I'm actually intentionally getting hit twice here. That's because I want my health to be at 2. And oh yeah, also we're skipping a snack gate and a bunch of levels.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention that.
This warp gate has the same activation trigger as the warp gate since I just warped to. So from that one warp gate, you can go straight to Gloom and Doom 2 and skip a 600 snack gate and a entire level. Just because.
Yeah, just because it's just linked up randomly.
Yeah.
And here you're gonna see me again. I'm gonna death abuse again, and it's gonna warp me back to the beginning of this level. And then we're going to go in and we're going to make our way and fight Green Ghost. Or RNGG, as I like to call him, because his initial's Green Ghost, and it's a big point of RNG in the run. So essentially, we can be stuck here for like a minute or two, or we could be out of here immediately. And we'll see how much Green Ghost likes me today. Hope it's not going to be too bad, but, you know. We basically have no control over where this man goes, so we'll see. This is a good sign.
He went to the middle, which means he's going to stay in the middle.
Yeah, we should get 2 hits right now, which we need 3 total in order
and
to
if he
defeat
goes
him.
to the left, this is
please.
perfect Green Ghost. Okay,
Yo,
perfect Green Ghost.
Let's go, dude! Sheesh!
Hog.
Yo, they call me RNGG. Let's go. So that's perfect Green Ghost. That's literally perfect. That's the best that it can go. So that's very nice. We love that. We love that for us.
Yeah, I wish I had Green Ghosts like that.
Yo, me too, honestly. Me too on my world record runs. It's pain out here. So here, we actually dodged one of the tokens earlier on in the run. We actually came in here earlier just to get the map, but it's actually faster for us to come back here later with a double jump and grab that token up there, just for routing purposes, because we have to come back through here anyway to go through the rest of the Manor levels and get the rest of the tokens in these levels. And so by just moving that one later, we just save a bit of time because you can get up there with only 1 jump, but it's significantly slower than rather than just having 2 jumps and just jumping up there immediately.
Yeah, and the reason we're going through Manor now instead of earlier on when we were meant to go to the Black Knight is because in the Manor there are lots of intended shortcuts. So you're meant to come back to the Manor later on once you have the umbrella, and you can just float straight like through it, through Mind 1 up to the attic levels. But because we didn't go through the first time, and we already have the umbrella, we can use that intended shortcut to just go straight to the levels which we want to be in to get all the tokens.
Yeah, and this is actually our second to final snack gate in the run, which is why snacks are so free here, because this snack gate's only 200 and our next snack gate is 850, which if you notice, I have 500 snacks and we have a ton of levels to go through still. So it's almost impossible to under-collect in this route as soon as you get past Coast. And again here, this is the shortcut Mortal was talking about, where we're going to hit this button and activate this fan. And we're actually going to float up there, but first we're going to grab the Geronimo token?
Yeah.
A token in this room.
So I like this room, mainly because I found the trick that he's going to do. So he's going to jump over this cutscene trigger, and then he's going to jump on the wall, and then he's going to just super smash onto the Geronimo token, and then, hey presto, token.
Yeah, and a fun fact about the Super Smash is that we can actually alter the course and our trajectory in the air like you saw there. So like I hit the token and then I slid back, because if you actually just hit the token and slam down, you'll actually run directly back into that cutscene trigger that we just avoided at the beginning of it. So essentially by doing that, we just dodge it completely. And now I'm going to shut up and try to do BKE.
So Black Knight Early is an interesting little trick. So what you do is that you need to super smash around a load of invisible wall triggers, and then to get up to the top where the token is. So let's see how he does. Nope. Bad trick. I can try.
This is so sad. F's in the chat. Nice.
There we go.
Let's go. Third try.
Nice.
We take those. That's basically one of the hardest jumps in the game, just outright. So getting it third try is pretty good. Obviously, I'd rather first try, but we do that so we get the Black Knight token. And essentially, we do that so we don't have to fight Black Knight. So essentially, by doing that, also, we're just going to grab this token real quick, and then we're going to death abuse back to the beginning of this level. That's all we're coming in here for. But normally, we have to go through all of these levels up here to fight the Black Knight in order to... Actually, an easier way to say this is that the Black Knight token that we grabbed is basically you can get that after you fight Black Knight, and by doing that trick, we just don't have to fight Black Knight at all, and so we skip all the levels leading up to Black Knight and the Black Knight boss fight. So we just skip like I don't know, like 5 minutes, 8 minutes, something ridiculous by just doing that little jump because it was just because you can just jump around the invisible walls. And now we're making our way to the Witch Doctor token, which, if we have any reads, this would be another good place to do so, because we're basically just going through some levels backwards just to get to a token. Not much happens.
I like that of all the things to have happened so far in this run, that was the ridiculous part. It's not the ghosts. It's not the walking on water. It's that jump.
Dude, that jump's crazy, man. It's a doozy.
That is the 100th fright right there.
True.
All right.
True.
We've got, looks like we've got a $5 donation from GP. Comment says, donating positive number. Thank you very much, GP, for your donation. Got $5 from Lycan, just says Pog, and that money is going toward the Saints Row Any Percent bid war for the character that they're going to, the character they're going to pick. It looks like they're deciding between Keanu Reeves and Waluigi. And looks like so Saints Row, we're going to go with which skin, and Waluigi has a very healthy lead. Keanu just barely making an appearance, but it looks like it's about $180 back, more or less. So unless we see some big love for our buddy John Wick, it doesn't look very good for him. So yeah, it looks like we've got Waluigi coming up. It's about 2 runs away. Our next run is SpongeBob's Truth or Square, and then right after that is Saints Row. So we don't have very much time for that one. So let's see if Keanu Reeves can pull off an upset.
All right, and
So
now we're going
in
to
this
do a
room-
trick called Skate Skip, where essentially we're trying to get to the Space Kook token as much as possible. So we're actually going to clip out of bounds here, and by clipping out of bounds, we can actually access the gate trigger here, so that we can get to the some level that I don't know the name of. It's here, Gust Bound Underground 2, and essentially this puts us right near the Space Kook token, or as I like to say, the Space Cake on a Corona token. And essentially, we just by doing that skip and clipping out of bounds, we avoid another trick that's called basement early, which it's either you jump on a really finicky ledge and have to do another lag clip similar to Hedge Gate Clip, or you go completely out of bounds instead of jumping on that ledge. And either way, you have to do this lag clip afterwards, which is actually the faster version of this route, but I'm not doing that because not very marathon safe. You know what I mean? So we're just running the OG gate clip route.
And technically doing that did skip going to the Redbeard boss fight for the first time.
Oh yeah, that too.
Because you're meant to get the gum or something.
Shout outs to Faffy for finding Kate Skip.
True.
Now my curiosity is killing me. Can you pet the dog somehow?
I believe Shaggy pets Scooby in a cutscene that we don't watch.
Let's go. This run is valid.
True. All right, there. I missed a cycle which is basically you can collect all 3 of those keys on the same cycle. Unfortunately, I missed the button when I ground pounded. So honestly, unlucky. That's not my fault, of course. The game's just really bad. I don't know. That's definitely not my fault. Completely missing the button. And here we're actually going to do, I think it's called Soap Clip or whatever. I don't really know how that trick works.
You kind of just like go on an invisible ledge, hit a button to skip soaping a ghost. It's a good trick.
Yeah.
Thanks, Baz.
Yeah, and basically we skip the normally we need the the soap in order to hit the button. But since we don't need the soap because we can do that, we get to avoid Redbeard, which we already talked about. We basically avoid Redbeard by doing Kate Skip, but then we avoid having to pick up the soap in the basement levels by being able to do the soap clip. And here we're actually going to jump right underneath that little ship, and we're going to jump and basically skip this whole level and just go immediately into Rec 2.
Because, if you play this game casually,
so
yeah, if you play this game casually, you'll definitely recognize this level, because this is one of the most infamous levels for just being insanely hard, especially for children trying to play this game. But you're actually going to see Nestani just skip straight through it, basically, by doing unintended, like, long-distance jumps over the lines of sails. And that skips hitting... Yeah, that skips hitting buttons and different cutscenes and backtracking. So it saves a lot of time.
Unlucky. I'm tragic. You can normally jump over that. You can ground pound over that and skip that little sequence there, but I didn't die in that level, so I'm taking that as a huge W.
Yeah.
Honestly, dying in Rec 2 is one of the saddest things that can happen to you.
Yeah, Rec 2 is pain. But here in Rec 3, you're meant to go over to the left side of the level and then floats up some fans, but we just skipped it by jumping on a railing, and then you're supposed to have the soap for this ghost diver to get this token, but we just jumped on an invisible ledge. And then you're also supposed to hit a button to spawn a boat, but we just jumped over the invisible wall to skip Rec 3. Lots of stuff happened there.
Yeah, lots of stuff. Basically, we just skip a lot of things in that level, and honestly, just in this run in general, we're skipping so many of the intended things just because of a little invisible ledge here, invisible ledge there, and that's a lot of the run. It's just like a lot of invisible ledges that were just, just left in, and then we just take advantage of them. I almost died. That was scary. You can actually clip through there's essentially a death plane at the top of the boat on the other side of the boat. And I almost clipped in the boat into the death plane, so that would have been absolutely tragic. And I would have cried, honestly. It's not a good time. Not very cash money, not gonna lie. And here we're just making our way to a Gas by the Mast 2, where we're gonna get our the last of 3 tokens, I believe.
Yeah,
there's only 2 tokens in the lab levels.
So you're supposed to have the gum for this, which you get from Redbeard to get the Redbeard token, but we just skipped that. And this is the final pull storage, so no quitting. Let's go.
No quitting. Our run is valid. Let's go. And essentially, if you were concerned if I was going to reset, it's fine because I actually set up safety saves for this run. So in the event that I did reset to one of these pause storages, I had a backup save for each pause storage that I did so that we would have been able to continue the run regardless. But I hit everyone because I'm a Chad. So, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
So in this part, you're meant to have the soap invention to soak these bats, but who wants to collect the soap? Am I right? So instead, we're gonna jump on some invisible collision and then just skip that sequence entirely, and that's RBS.
Yeah, it's called RBS because it's known as Redbeard Skip. Because again, you normally need the gum in order to get to the basement levels, and then after you get the gum from fighting Redbeard. You get the soap invention there, but what? I've never seen that camera angle before. That one was new. That's a new camera angle for me. I haven't seen that one. But yeah, essentially 2 tricks, just like, again, a bunch of invisible ledges, like soap clip and everything. It basically just allows us to skip the whole Redbeard boss fight because we don't need any of those inventions in order to collect the tokens that we need. Here we're actually going to jump on some visible walls. This is known as Lido Skip. And the walls that I'm jumping on, they look invisible, but they're actually very visible. And you can actually see them along the wall. And we're going to pay the 850 snack gate, which I ended on with exactly 150. And we're going to make our way, actually. And we're going to get the last 2 tokens of the run. And I'm also going to shut up here for a little bit, so...
Yeah, so first you jump on an invisible ledge to grab the fun land robot token, which is supposed to glide down for. And then going to jump on another invisible ledge to get back up. And this is a trick where basically you enter into the exit of Lab 3, which is another level, to grab the Mastermind token very fast. And you basically jump on some invisible ledges to get up to here, and then you jump on another invisible ledge. You try and jump on top of this pipe above Nestani.
I'm so sorry.
And Yeah, this ledge is really finicky. And once he gets in the pipe, he can like climb across it to go over to the exit.
Shout outs to Summer for that one.
Yeah.
Ooh. And then here again, at the bottom of this level, there's actually a really long cutscene, which is why we do that. And then we're gonna actually just jump, get that token. And normally we do another pause storage here, but because I only had 5 saves, I'm just gonna eat this time loss of not doing this pause storage specifically because it's really not that bad. We're just gonna jump on this floating platform here and then make our way right back. And basically, I only have 6 slots, so I only had 5 slots because I had 1 slot for practice, and you know, it's not that bad of a time loss. It's only about 20 seconds, and then we're gonna make our way to fight Mastermind, and we've actually collected all the tokens that we need to.
So in this run, we don't actually interact with Shaggy at all, really, outside of these cutscenes. So I may have a slight bias towards the next trick because it is one that I found. So what Nestani's going to do is he's going to go into the door to skip saving Shaggy from the shark because no one cares about Shaggy. So he's just going to jump into the door and yeah, so that's shark skip.
And if you're concerned about Shaggy's well-being, don't worry. He's fine from the sharks. We didn't need to help him. It's all good because he's right here in the back. No worries. He's running up. Look, he's standing there next to Holly and everyone. And we're just going to jump over the acid. And we're actually going to clip into the wall here. And by clipping into this wall, we skip the first phase of the Mastermind boss fight, which essentially just skips a wave of enemies, which speeds up this boss fight exponentially. And we're going to get hit by the lightning twice.
It also skips the cool music, if you wanted to hear that.
No music
is
allowed?
great, but skip that.
And essentially, we're going to go for as many frame perfects as possible here because, again, with these enemies and with these buttons, we can actually hit them frame perfect like that, and we can cancel the animation, and it goes by faster. And after this next wave, timer's actually going to end pretty shortly. Ooh, nice. Timer's going to end pretty shortly. Essentially, what's going to happen is Mastermind's going to spawn down into the ground, and we're going to hit him into the electricity that's by those buttons. And when he hits the electricity is when timer ends. And so here we're gonna skip a cutscene, and we're gonna mash A. We're actually gonna get a better camera angle just so we can see where he's gonna spawn, because this is another point of RNG where Mastermind can really spawn anywhere. And so essentially, we're just covering our bases by this. And so as soon as he spawns, timer is going to end shortly. And I'll try to call it out as best as I can. He's over here. Ow. And so timer is going to stop right about now.
GG.
And that's
GG's.
that's AMT. And on my timer, that's a
Nice.
40-48, which is an absolutely ridiculously good run. So I'm very, very proud of myself. For this one.
That is quite a
Yeah.
correct pace for a marathon.
Oh, all right. And so very, very quick shout outs. If Mortal and Sam wants to go ahead and give theirs.
Again, I run this game too, so you can follow me at twitch.tv/tfxmortal.
So if you want to run this game, you go to speedrun.com/NOOF and you click on the Discord button and you join the Discord, and we'll help you run the game if you're interested. You don't have to do the sort of routes that Nestani did in here. We have quite a good beginner route and tutorials for everyone. So join if you want to play the game. Quite welcoming.
All right, and my shout outs real quick is I just wanted to give a quick shout out to my boy Ryan, or Ryan in Theory. He's the one who got me into this game and started me running, so big shout outs to him. He's my boy. And I actually want to shout out another one of my friends. His name is Coley_02. That's his Twitch. If you all want to give him a follow, he pretty much streams this game like all the time. I don't really stream much anymore, so that's why I'm plugging him. He's my boy. He's also another top runner, so if you want to see high-level gameplay, that's where to go. And yeah, I think that's it. And thank you all, ESA, for having us very much. It was a real treat to actually do this route for everyone, because this is my baby. This is my route. This is my favorite route in the game, and it was so awesome to be able to help out a good cause and just run it. And so thank you.
All right, big shout out to the man Don Knotts. Thank you very much, Nestani. Looks like we had some donations come in that were a little that you were a little too quick for. We have $5 from Deathmaster here. Good luck on the run, Nestani.
Hey, Deathmaster.
Awesome green ghost, by the way. $25 from JRSB saying Scoob makes a good point, so here's enough money to cover $25 or to cover 25 people. Wish I could donate with crypto to these things. Amp one day, maybe. Anyway, good luck and GG's to all the runners. Also got $50 from Anonymous and $15 from Isaac. Thanks everyone for all your donations toward Nestani. I'm sure he appreciates them. And it looks like we've got, we're getting real close. We're only $213 away from 15K. Yeah, that'll be it for me tonight. That was my last run of the shift. So I'd like to thank Nestani. I'd like to thank Mannix. I'd like to thank everyone that did runs tonight. Coopsader, sorry. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and I will see you guys again on Thursday. Thanks so much. And up next we have looks like Jackalak is running SpongeBob Truth or Square, so stick around for that, cartoon fans. And we've got Mitako doing the reading, so the man, the myth, the taco, the man himself. So get ready for that one, and thank you very much, and see you soon.